Hey, what's going on guys? This is Chunji Akuma, and today I wanted to teach you about your crosshair. Now you might be thinking, wait Chunji, isn't a crosshair just a crosshair? Well, to that I'm going to say no. A crosshair is something that's extremely important and in fact could change everything about the way you play. Now before I found this crosshair here that I'm currently using, I could not hit a headshot to save my life from a distance. Now, there's so many different types of crosshairs such as this one where it doesn't matter if I'm moving or whether I'm shooting, no matter what happens, this crosshair is staying exactly the same. However, there are crosshairs like this. Now, this type of crosshair moves when I move and moves when I'm shooting. Now, this is important to know because this crosshair specifically tells you when you're done moving by moving all the way back into the middle and resetting itself. And also, when you're shooting, it expands just slightly. Now, this is a specific crosshair that a popular streamer uses, and this can be useful to you to know when you're going to stop and when you're going to be moving, and it's just useful in general to show you when you're firing and so on and so forth. Now, this is one type of crosshair, but there's also a crosshair that's much smaller that only moves while you're shooting, and it looks like this. Now this one doesn't move while you're moving, however it does move while you're firing, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you fire. So this could be very useful or it could be very detrimental depending on what type of personality and what type of crosshair you enjoy most. For me, if mine is moving at all, it actually will throw off my aim considerably. So these are just some things to be aware of when choosing a crosshair. Alright, let's go back to my original crosshair so that I can show you why a crosshair is so important. So now that we're back to our original crosshair, I'm going to show you how to train your crosshair and why your crosshair is such an important factor when it comes to aiming. Alright guys, now I've chosen this map which can be found in the community workshop section. It's called aim_bots with a Z at the end. Now I'm actually having an entire tutorial on this map, but for now just know that there's 10 bots, they stand still, and when you kill them, they respawn in another location on this section here. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is this. Pick a crosshair and stick with it. Do not change it unless you know for a fact it's a bad crosshair for you, because each crosshair will not be good for every single person. For instance, this exact crosshair is the one I can use, but every other crosshair I've tried in the past, I can't use at all. So this is how I determine whether a crosshair is good or bad. Either pick it from a streamer you like, or pick it from a pro player, try it out, and these are the tests you want to do. First off, make sure if you have it on their head, it actually will headshot them, okay? Sometimes it'll take maybe one, maybe two taps, but for the most part, it should headshot them every single time you have it on their head. Now, if you have to have it way above their head, way beside their head, or below their head, it might be a bad crosshair. Or maybe you like that. Maybe that's something about the crosshair that you actually can use to your advantage. But determine whether or not the crosshair you like first actually can hit the target when it's aimed at it. Now, the second test I like to do is aiming from a distance. So if you cannot one or two tap a bot from this distance, at the extreme distance, your crosshair may not be good, or you may not know how to use it yet. So keep practicing a crosshair you enjoy and like. Otherwise, you're never ever going to be able to one tap, two tap, three tap, or any tap a single person in an actual match. Now, eventually you're going to want to take this information about your crosshair placement and put it into a matchmaking or actually maybe a deathmatch to test it. But for now, this should tell you whether or not the crosshair you're using is actually a crosshair that you can use properly. So keep practicing, guys. I'm going to link this in the description below, this specific map, and you can find my crosshair actually on my Twitch if you want to use a specific one. But please, guys, choose a crosshair, stick with it, practice it a few times on a map like this where you can determine whether it works or not, and go from there. If you do not know how to use your crosshair from different distances, whether it's close, medium, or far, you're never ever going to get out of the place you're in currently, whether that's silver, whether it's Nova, whether it's Eagle. You guys are just going to be stuck where you are. So please, crosshair is probably one of the most important things, so make sure you guys learn this crosshair, learn your crosshair, and that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know I ragged on you about these crosshair stuff, but trust me, it is something I did not know that was so important until I actually trusted my crosshair and learned how to use it. So guys, if you liked this video, if you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't find it useful, give it a thumbs down and tell me why it wasn't useful to you at all. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.